This is the chain of responsibility design pattern's conceptual code. It is a design pattern that lets you pass requests along a chain of handlers. Each handler decides either to process the request or to pass it to the next handler in the chain. First, we have the handler interface. This declares two important methods. The first is the set next, which is used to build the chain of handlers. The second is handle, which is responsible for executing a request. Next, we have the constructor, the abstract handler class. The constructor initializes the next handler pointer to null pointer. This is the default state, indicating that there is no next handler initially. Then we move on to the set next method. The set next method is a crucial part of building the chain. It allows a client to see the next handler in the chain. It takes a handler pointer as a parameter representing the next handler. It sets the next handler member It sets the next handler member to the provided handler. It returns the handler itself, enabling a convenient way to link multiple handlers in a chain as shown in the example. Then we have the handle method. It is responsible for processing requests in the chain. If the current handler has a next handler, it delegates the request to the next handler next handler using this. If there is no next handler, it returns an empty string, indicating that the request was not handled by any other handler in the chain. Then we have the concrete handlers, the monkey handler, squirrel handler, and dog handler. All of them inherit from the abstract handler. Each of these handlers can either handle a request or pass it to the next handler in the chain. For example, if the dog handler, um, for example, in the dog handler, the logic involves checking if the dog is interested in eating a meatball or if it should pass the request to the next handler. Then we move on to the client code class. The client code function demonstrates how the client interacts with the handler chain. It takes a handler as a parameter and sends multiple requests to it. Then we will move on to the main function. Uh, we create instances of monkey handler, squirrel handler, and dog handler. We then set up the chain by linking them using the setNext method. Then we just output. For the output, it demonstrates the output demonstrates the dynamic nature of the chain of responsibility pattern. Each handler in the chain has specific criteria for handling requests. Requests are processed sequentially through the chain until a handler is found that can handle the request. If no handle in the chain, if no handler in the chain can handle the request, it remains unprocessed. This pattern allows for a flexible and extensible way of processing requests where handlers can be added or removed without modifying the client code. Each handler is responsible for a specific behavior, prompting a modular or prompting a modular and loosely coupled design.